The Chicago Bulls get a big win against the Cleveland Cavaliers, 127-111. Josh Giddey scores his sixth triple-double of the season. And the Bulls have 7 players scoring in double figures. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get this content for today, y'all. The Chicago Bulls get a 127-111 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was a game where the Bulls rediscovered their hustle. They rediscovered their heart to get this win against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I got to give them credit for it. I didn't have the Bulls coming into this game being able to really compete with this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and while the Bulls did get out to early 10-point deficit against the Cleveland Cavaliers, it seemed like that almost woke this team up somewhat. The Cavs went on a 24-12 run in the first quarter of this game. At the end of that run, the Cavs were up 28-16. The Bulls respond with a 17-6 run to get the lead all the way down to 1 before the end of that first quarter. And at that point, the Bulls were playing with heart the rest of the way. It's like that stretch, that 17-6 stretch for the Chicago Bulls completely woke them up on how they needed to play in this game, and it was just on point after that point in the game. The Chicago Bulls out-hustled the Cleveland Cavaliers. They out-rebounded the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the Cavs were without Evan Mobley, but I think it's safe to say even without Evan Mobley, the Cavs are a better team than the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls outscored them points in the paint 68-52. They outscored them on second chance points 12-8. They outscored them on fast break points 25-14. Bench points 38-27. They really outscored them in just about everything. The Cavs did have more points off turnovers at 22-21, but other than that, the Bulls owned this game and had a ton of energy in this game. The Bulls shot 56% from the field in this game and 38% from three. They also got to the free throw line 18 times in this game. That was all major. And that's how this Bulls team is going to have to win games. If they want to win these type of games, the Bulls are going to have to play with this energy and execution down the stretch of this game. When they started getting to the point of the Bulls having a 10-point lead, they just continually attacked. And that's what you have to see from this team if you're going to want to be able to reach the heights or whatever that you can do this season. Love to see the way that this team played. Love to see the way that they competed. And they played as a team. It seemed like they were back communicating on the defensive side of the ball as well. Really good defensive effort from the Bulls today. Not amazing, right? But the Bulls finished this game with a 103 defensive rating. Keep in mind, the lower number is the better number. Around 110, 111 is looked at as the average defensive rating. The Bulls are at 103 and had a 118 offensive rating. That's what you want to see from this Bulls team. This is the way that the Bulls are going to have to play basketball if they're going to want to win basketball games this season. If they're going to want to beat these teams, you have to find a way to not play down the competition. That's been such a problem for this team overall on the season. The Bulls have to be better than that. And for what it's worth, today they were. And Josh Giddey today. Josh Giddey had a 20-point triple-double with 11 points, 11 rebounds. Out of his 11 assists, 5 of those went to Nikola Vucevic, right? And we've talked about that before. For Nikola Vucevic to be productive nowadays, he's going to have Josh Giddey or Trey Jones or a combination of all that creating for him. It's just what Vuce is going to need if we're going to win basketball games with Nikola Vucevic on this team. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts about it. If Vuce is going to be effective in basketball games, the point guards have to create for him. That's where he is at this stage of his career. It is what it is. And for what it's worth, 20 points in this game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block from Nikola Vucevic. You got to give credit where credit's due for Vuce. But we're also going to talk about Coby White because there's been a lot of people talking bad about Coby White. 25 points in this game. He goes 8 of 13 from the field, finally rediscovering that three-point touch as well. 3 of 5 from that, and he got to the free throw line 7 times. If you guys watched the daily episode yesterday, I talked about just those things with Coby as far as getting in his bag offensively. The three ball has not been falling for Coby. He had it falling today. With that, and you pair that with his ability to get to the free throw line, he also chips in 3 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. This was a really good game from Coby White, man, and you need that type of game from Coby. So when you look at Coby White and Josh Giddey combined, they combined for 48 points, 16 rebounds, 14 assists, and 4 steals. That's a backcourt, ladies and gentlemen. That is a backcourt, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from this backcourt of Coby White and Josh Giddey. If they can do this more times than not, this can be a dangerous backcourt in this league. And those steals are key as well because they were getting active. This was once again the Bulls. The Bulls finished this game with 12 steals as a team because they were getting active defensively. They were staying engaged defensively, and they kept their head on a swivel. That's how this team can win basketball games. Outside of that, we got the 25 from Coby, 23 from Josh Giddey, 20 from Nikola Vucevic. But then off the bench, you get an 11-point, 11-assist double-double from Tre Jones. And when you look at Tre Jones and his assist distribution, it's a little more all over the place, right? So out of Tre Jones, 11 assists, 2 went to Zach Collins, 2 went to Nikola Vucevic, so 4 to your centers, which is what you want to see from him. 2 to Josh Giddey, 1 to Coby, 1 to Modest, 1 to Kevin Huerter, 1 to Isaac Okoro, and 1 to Jalen Smith. Tre Jones getting out in transition, helping force some of those transition opportunities as well for the Chicago Bulls is important. He had 3 steals in this game as well, 1 rebound, only 1 turnover. And for what it's worth, the Bulls had 15 turnovers in this game as a whole. But one of the keys to this game, right, was that if you go and look, Billy Donovan was very restrictive with Nikola Vucevic's minutes. Very restrictive until the fourth quarter when Vuce was cooking. Then we started to see a little bit more of Nikola Vucevic. But the double big lineup today was such a key weapon for this Bulls team to see them being able to go double bigs. When you look at Jalen Smith and Zach Collins' minutes out there together, they played 11 minutes and 32 seconds together. So almost 12 minutes. We were plus 12, had a net rating of plus 44, an offensive rating of 103, and a defensive rating of 59. 59. I don't care who you are, what team you are. If you can have a double-digit minute stretch of having a defensive rating of 59, chances are not you're going to be in position to be able to win that game. That's it. That's it. So, this team, and I know that the Cavs have a disappointing season. Bulls fans would love to be 15-13 right now. They've had a bit of a disappointing season, but this is still a team with Donovan Mitchell. And we know how Donovan Mitchell has cooked the Chicago Bulls. This was the Bulls' first win against Cleveland in almost 2 years. In Jared Allen's 29 games with the Cavs against the Bulls have only won 5 of those. They're 25. The Cavs are 25-4 against the Chicago Bulls in that time. Or 24-5. 24-5. So that's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at. Now, for what it's worth on the other side, Donovan Mitchell chipped in 32 points. You had 21 points from Jalen Tyson. I don't even know who that is. Darius Garland had 15. Jared Allen had 14. They were missing Evan Mobley and Max Strus in this game. DeAndre Hunter gave them 12 points coming off the bench as well. And, hey, I'll tell you what it is. Well, is it my daughter calling me? No, it's not. But the Bulls played a really good game today, man. You got to give this up to the Chicago Bulls and how they were able to play, man. And gotta love it. Gotta love, this is the team that we saw the first 5 games. How much more of this team are we going to be able to see on this season? I have no idea. But we shall see. And if they can discover this a little bit more, we'll see it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, texting my daughter, y'all. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, but with that said, the Bulls team gets a win, and they do it through doing it as a team. You get 7 players to score in double figures in this game. Zach Collins gives you 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals off the bench for Zach Collins. Jalen Smith, only 4 points, but again, he gave you some solid defense in this game. Another really good rebounding per minute. In 16 minutes, 7 rebounds for Jalen Smith. That's really good rebound per minute production. And Jalen Smith's role has now changed with Zach Collins being back, right? He's more now on the perimeter. He's not shooting as much, and his defense is becoming more important, especially that collapsible defense, which is really good for that one. But it's good to see Jalen Smith. He's playing more minutes than P. Will right now. P. Will only played 11 minutes today. So I think what we're seeing for Billy Donovan is that Billy's understanding that when you're able to put Jalen Smith at the 4 and you're able to have Zach Collins in at the 5, that you keep up your transition, right? Zach Collins isn't necessarily the fastest center, but the ability to have Jalen Smith, who can get up and down the court, really does help as well with that one. And then you're looking at Kevin Huerter with 11 points, Trey Jones with 11 points. So the good bench production, good production from your starters as well. The bench kind of sets the tone early again in this game. When the Bulls get out to that early 10-point deficit against the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was the bench's energy that got them back in this game. That's it. It was the bench's energy that got him back in this game. So, so that's what it is. And hopefully now this team can they rediscovered it. We face off against the Cleveland Cavaliers again in a couple of days, right? I think that we faced them on, is it Sunday? I don't know. Let me take a look at the schedule. Give me 1 second. Don't give me the line. It could be Friday. Yeah, Friday. We face off against the Cavs. So we face off against them in a couple of days. Best believe they're going to make some adjustments for this Bulls team, but it's hard to adjust for energy, right? And that's why the Bulls lacking energy has been such a detriment to this team. You need to bring consistent energy, because energy is something you can't game plan. You can't game plan. You can't game plan for energy. So if the Bulls can ever get to the point of being consistent energy-wise, that is what will get them in games. That is what will get them an opportunity to win some basketball games. But they have to find out a way that they can do that consistently. They have to find out how they can unlock energy consistently and give that to this team. If they do that, hey, I'm not saying that they're going to be 6-7 games above 500. Not saying that at all. But I am saying that is a team then that can start, looking at some things and probably compete to get out the play-in, right? So we'll see what this team has in store for us, and we'll see how this team continues to perform. But this was a quality win against a really good team that came into the season with championship aspirations. That's what the Cleveland Cavaliers are. Now, they're falling short of those aspirations, but let's not use that to pity this win. This was a big win by the Bulls, and if you watch this, they stayed engaged defensively. They executed offensively. They got to the paint a lot in this game. I want to look at the shooting real quick for the Bulls. Give me 1 second. So when you look at the Bulls' shot distribution today, this is what you need to see from this team. 41% of the Chicago Bulls shots were in the restricted area. Another 11% of their shots were in the paint. The Bulls, when you add in paint and restricted area, that means that the Bulls, 52, almost 53% of their shots came near the rim. That's the type of team that we need to be. We shot 78% today in the restricted area. If you guys watched my daily episode today, you heard me. The Bulls have been around 62% in the paint. I said just average, you need to be between 65 and 68. If you want to be elite, you need to be around 72%. The Bulls are almost 80% shooting in the restricted area today. That's what you need from this team. Only 30% of the Bulls shots came from above the break threes, and another 10% came from corner threes. We don't really take middies, so I'm not expecting middies to be a huge part of that. So you're looking at 40% of our shots were three-pointers. 53% of those shots were near the rim. That's what you want to be for this team. That's how the Chicago Bulls need to play basketball. Only 6% of our shots were in the mid-range. I'd actually like to see that raise up a little bit, but I'm not going to be – when you shoot that effectively at the rim, I'm perfectly fine with it. That is what the Chicago Bulls did. They took care of business today, and I love to see this team play this way. Now let's see if we can do this more consistently. Let's see if we can do it more consistently. If they can, things can work out for this team. Let's get to the comments. Dan Reyes says, is it possibility that the Bulls keep playing with the same energy all season long with so much expiring contracts as we got now? Expiring contracts have nothing to do with energy. Have nothing to do with energy. So, I mean, that takes a buy-in from your players. If you want your players have to buy in to the effort that is going to have to take to play with energy for a full 48 minutes. That's just what it is. And so if Billy Donovan, the coaching staff, the players themselves, if they can find a way to tap into that, and it means that it's going to have to be a different player every single night, right? Because when you have to tap into energy like that, it's hard for you to say every single night Trey Jones go and get it a double-double. Sometimes it's going to be Trey having 11 points and Kevin Huerter having 11. Sometimes it's going to have to be Kevin Huerter having 18 and Trey having 5, right? But it's going to have to be through committee. That is the special sauce of this team. We've been talking about depth of this team literally since training camp. So if they're going to want to tap into that energy consistently, they're going to have to do it through depth. And we'll see if this team can find a way to do that. I can't say that they can. I can't say that they haven't. We haven't seen a lot, but we'll see. You are so wrong. The Bulls have to have a number of three-point shots or else they cannot succeed against the best teams. No, that's statistically not right. If you are elite at the rim, you can do that. You don't want to take 50 like the Bulls don't want to take 49%. They're not that good of a shooting team. So you're wrong in that, and you're wrong because you haven't looked at actual numbers, and you're instead talking about narrative rather than basketball facts. If you go and look even at the start of the season when the Bulls were 5-0, keep in mind, all 5 of those games came against playoff teams. The Bulls were taking almost 60% of their shots in the restricted area in the paint. So this is not, again, the point of being a fast-paced team is attacking the rim. You're wrong. You're just flat out wrong. Go and look at where the Bulls have been successful at. Come back to me. Let's talk numbers. They had 3 people on the offensive rebounds. Huge difference. So even when they shot threes, they had backup. That smart offense that we've been missing. 100% fact on that one. 100% fact. Beat the Cavs back-to-back, and if they can do the same versus Atlanta tomorrow, we'll be back at square one and the start of the year, basically. Hey, I mean, we'll see if they can do it. The Bulls winning all 4 of these games to basically go into the new year basically back at 500 and starting off the calendar year right back. Well, not really, because then we also got Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Minnesota, and New Orleans all before January. So you got more games than that before the calendar flips. But to get as close back to 500 as you can, that's what I would be aiming for. Can we get back to 500 before January starts? If we can, then, and well, keep in mind, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 games left before the calendar flips. That would mean that we've played 26 games right now, right? 26 games so far in the year. You had 7 games to that. That would be 33 games, right? Quick math on that one. So you're still not even halfway through your season. If you can get to 500 before the start of this, what's 33 games, you can't be exactly at 500. If you can get near 500 before the calendar flips with 33 games played, that starts a new season for you. That's a huge if, though. I want to be clear. That's not easy to do. It's not going to be easy for the Chicago Bulls to accomplish that. It's going to have to take them locking in. But if they do that, okay, maybe we can then start, all right, let's see what you do after the calendar flips. But as it stands right now, it's still a lot to ask for this team to get to that point. So let's see what we can do before that. Hayes, have Billy did a double big with Vooch and Jalen or with Vooch and Zach yet? I do not think so. I don't think Vooch has been part of any of those lineups yet. Billy Donovan dementia going to kick in, and he's going to forget how he coached today and like that Hornets game. That's crazy. Something is wrong with the Cavs season. They're not as dominant as they were past seasons. What happened? Did they lose some players? So do you not watch other teams in the Bulls? No, they've been yes, they lost players to health. They haven't been healthy for the entirety of the year. Evan Mobley's out right now. Hunter has missed some time. Garland has missed some time, even though those guys are back. So Okoro was a big help tonight. Yeah, listen, when Okoro is playing this way, right? And what I loved about Isaac Okoro's game today was the fact that you didn't see him take a huge number of threes. Isaac Okoro was attacking the rim. Let me see. Isaac Okoro, he took no threes today. No threes for Isaac Okoro today. I'm not saying that I want to see every game where he takes no three-pointers. I wouldn't say that at all. But I think what we're seeing from Isaac is when Isaac attacks and he cuts to the rim, we get him involved offensively. We have the point guards to get him involved. I honestly thought that part of their problem was taking too many threes and not enough in the paint. They don't need the threes if they're good in the paint. Exactly. If you're efficient in the paint and getting to the free throw line, those are the things that help you for sure. I think we might just have beat Donovan Mitchell into finally requesting a trade. That's hilarious. Attacking the paint and mid-range. Absolutely. Now, we don't take a lot of middies, but yeah, we do need to attack the paint. Chicago, let's go Bulls. Fight for the rest for this great city of Chicago, home of the GOAT, Jordan. It's not really home. He's from North Carolina. It's not really home for Jordan, but, I get what you mean by that. So much uncertainty left to play out this year across the NBA. We know there will be more injuries, too. More injuries, more trades. There are going to be some teams that get stronger as the season goes on for sure, right? So you got to look out for that one. Okoro should stay away from the three-point line, please, unless they're wide open. And even then, man, I can't remember the number. I looked it up the other day. Isaac Okoro on wide open threes is shooting like 26%. It's bad. It's bad. I like what I saw from all the cutting. During our losing streak, there was a lot of standing around off ball, so it was great to see more off ball movement this game. Facts. Now you just got to find a way to keep it up against the bad teams, right? Now, we are also a bad team, but you got to find a way to keep it up against the lesser competition. That's where the Bulls kind of fall apart at, so we'll see. Getting Io in with the double big lineup is going to be good, too. It could be really good, really good. You're not wrong there. Giddey needs to be surrounded by players prepared to work hard on the driving cuts who look so good when we move the ball fast. It doesn't even have to necessarily be just fast movements. Just move the ball. Off-ball movement, ball movement. Those are two things that create open looks. They create more quality shots. They get you easy buckets. That's what the Bulls really need to focus on, is those two things. If they can do that, they can start winning some basketball games. Cleveland usually don't turn the ball over like they did tonight. They do not. Cleveland usually does really take care of the ball. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe, were coming into this game. They were like fourth in turnover percentage, so they don't turn the ball over a lot. The players need to be encouraged, not discouraged. Win as a team and lose as a team. All for one and one for – that sounds great. That sounds all for one for all. Was that like only the second time beating the Cavs over how long? That was our first time beating the Cavs in almost 2 years, Rob. Almost 2 years since we beat the Cavs last time. Because we lost all the games against the Cavs last year. Shout out to Trey Jones. He was leading the league in steals for a bit. He got back to that. And we need that because that gets us out in transition. We need that. Yo, how do the Bulls win against the Nuggets and Cavs but can't win against the Jazz and the Pelicans? I don't know, bro. I'm just here to cover the game, man. I don't know, man. I wonder how Noah's going to fit in with Aldridge. What? Vegemite, my man. No, fuck that Vegemite shit. I'm not going to lie to y'all. The Bulls got to win more consistently before I'm eating Vegemite. I get it. Listen, I love what we did tonight as a team. Shout out to Josh Giddey for leading us. But listen, all that cutesy shit, we got to win more consistently for that shit. I'm sorry. We got to win more consistently for that shit. I can't keep seeing a lack of energy, and I'm over here giving all my energy and eating Vegemite. Can't do it. The Bulls feel like a completely different team when they have 6 or more players in double digits, finally playing inside out. I mean, I think most teams will look different when you have that many players scoring in double figures, right? Like when you spread the ball out that much, and the Bulls are back to their amazing assist ratio as well. Like that's something that I haven't talked about yet. 35 assists on 50 made baskets. Like that's huge. 35 assists on 50 made baskets. Like that is major. That's not light work. That's not light work at all. So the Bulls got the dub, man, and they got it the right way. They got it by working as a team. We could get a cup, and I'm still not eating Vegemite. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not worried about that part of it. It's just, listen, I'm tired of rewarding this team for shit, and it's half-assery. Like if they beat the Cavs on Friday, listen, here's the thing, and this is the deal that we'll make. All right, here's when we'll make the deal. If the Bulls beat the Cavs on Friday, I'll eat Vegemite. Josh Giddey doesn't even have to have a triple-double. If they beat the Cavs again on Friday, I'll eat Vegemite. But I got to see more than one win in a row again before I'm willing to do it. If they do that, then we'll be back on track after that point. Every triple-double will eat Vegemite. There you go. I think the matchups matter heavily in Bulls games and why they may struggle more versus certain teams and better versus playoff teams. Well, I mean, here's the thing. In the Bulls' loss, energy was always a thing. So I get you, and you're probably right, but I think energy right now is the overarching thing. Play with the right energy and execution. And then I think that you're closer in all those games. Now, matchups do play a part, and I'm not going to act like matchups don't make a big difference depending on game to game. But I think right now, even more than matchups, it was the Bulls' energy was a big thing. It's a long season. Hope these guys get back on track like those competitive first games and being consistent. Let's hope so. Why we don't trade for Miles Turner? Because they aren't trying to trade Miles Turner right now. The only rumors about them trading Miles Turner is if Giannis gets traded. So Giannis would have to get traded first. Then they could start blowing up everything. But, yeah, right now they're not going to trade Miles Turner. If we get 2 of the next 3 with good energy, then we could talk about Vegemite. No, I mean, I'll do it. If we win next game, I'll do it next game. Like I said, he doesn't even have to have a triple-double. If we win next game, I'll take Vegemite next game. But right now, no, I'm not doing it. As much as I'm glad they won, but this game showing me something is going on in the locker room where they don't take the games they should be beating seriously or are unprepared for even the last couple of years. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The Bulls got something going with that zone defense's double big lineup. Listen, we had something going on early in the season when we were still ranked. I don't know if we ever ranked top 10 defensively. I know at one point we were ranked 12th defensively. But we used the hybrid zone. We got back to that today. And what a double big lineup helps with the zone too is that you have more length out there. You have more size, so you have more deterrent at the rim. That's what helps. That's what helps. Expecting Io back soon, hopefully. I mean, Io was trying to get in the game today. They held him out to save him against himself, but Io was trying to get in there today. We needed this win. This should boost their confidence a bit. I truly still believe in this team. Call me crazy. No, I'm not going to call you crazy for believing in your team. And, you know, the Bulls, it was so good to start off the season, and then it fell off a cliff so badly, right? And you would like to think that even if they can rediscover, even if they 75% of what they were playing with at the beginning of the season, that's still a pretty damn good team, especially in the Eastern Conference. We just got to see if they're going to be able to do it consistently. Just got to see it. I think Jared Allen will look perfect in a Bulls jersey. I mean, you can think that all day long, but it's not going to happen. Do you think we should tank? What's the point of being a play-in team? You actually develop your players. You actually put them in situations and scenarios that matter. And we've always seen that when players are playing for games that matter, that's where they develop the best at. That's just what we've seen. I mean, I understand the merits of tanking. I do think there's something ethical about just seeing where you're going to go. And I also think now that we've seen the lottery odds flatten out, when's the last team that just outwardly tanked a bunch that got the number 1 pick? Like, look at the last 2 teams that got the number 1 pick. The Atlanta Hawks, they didn't tank. They were in the play-in. They got kicked out. The Dallas Mavericks, they didn't tank. Yes, they traded Luka, but they were still right there in playoff contention at the end of that until AD went down, right, and stuff like that. So I think when you look at it, the fact of the matter is that you can, like, play it out. If you're a bad team, you're a bad team. You'll get a lottery pick. Play it out. That's just my personal opinion on it. Who have the most triple-double in Bulls history? Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan. Was that really a question? Did you really question who led the Chicago Bulls in triple-doubles? Was that a legitimate question from you? You didn't think the greatest player of all time would lead the franchise in triple-doubles? I was just messing with you, bro. Wayne says, as an Aussie, good to see Gids at 23 years old talking about being better at leadership. Great for the Boomer squad. It's great for this Bull squad. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Shout out to the national team, and I'm going to cover them when they play nationally again. But, I mean, we're this Bull Central. So, first, I'm thinking about how it benefits the Bulls. It's a real shame that Noah got hurt, would have been getting some air minutes by the end of this year. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I hope that it would have been true, but now we'll never know. We'll never know. Good win by the Bulls. Let's hope we can keep it up. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I saw a time when Jalen identified their mismatch and yelled to Trey to switch to the perimeter defender. That's the things that sometimes lack and why they got hurt on the boards too. Facts. 100% right, Rob. You're 100% true on that one. MJ is keeping the triple-double record. Oh, yeah. Josh Giddey's going to get that record by next season. Let me look at the number. Hold on. I want to make sure that I'm not talking out the side of my neck. Let's see. Why is shit not typing right? Let's see. Michael Jordan had 28 triple-doubles. So, Josh Giddey had 6 last year, 6 so far this year, so he already has 12. Josh Giddey's going to probably pass up Scottie Pippen this year and Jordan next season. So we're looking at next season, Giddey's probably going to become the leader in triple doubles. Trey Murphy would be a better option than Zion if we're trying to trade. Yeah, but he's also going to be a more expensive option, right? You got to keep in mind with trades, everything isn't equal, right? So the players that you're a better option, you got to think you need more to get. Zion, if they trade Zion, they may just be looking for a matching salary in the first round, an unprotected first round pick, maybe, right? So they'll probably be looking. That's me selling it short. For Zion, they will at least be looking for 2 first round picks. And they probably want a young player back. So, we'll see what happens there. He's 22, so he's going to break that. He's going to break that next season. There's no ifs, ands. If he's fully healthy, he's going to break it next season. He's going to break that next season. Do you think the way Lachlan Allbrook is playing in the G League will put pressure on others to get some minutes? Could be. Lachlan is playing really fucking good right now. Really good. So, we shall see. We shall see. But all right, y'all, I got to get ready to go do Locked on Bulls. Thank you guys for tuning in to this post-game show. The Chicago Bulls get a dub. That is the most important thing here, getting a win, getting a dub. Let's keep it pushing. Let's see how much further that we can push this thing out. Can the Bulls get another win? If you're watching this now or you're watching it after the fact, I want to hear from you guys. Can the Bulls do it again against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday? Let me know what you guys think on that down below. You can follow us at Bulls Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.